Hey guys, Kevin here to teach you another beatboxing technique. This week's technique is beatboxing without using any air in your lungs. Now, this is a technique that you could use to, make a difference in how your beat sounds. The regular beat sound going, that's all well and good, but sometimes you want to change up the beat, make it sound different. And this is a way to do that by not using any air from your lungs. So let's get into it. Alright, so this is how the beat sounds. Alright guys, so for this beat there's a couple of sounds that you need to know. The first one is just. Now that is a little bit different than the sound, the bass sound. Now this one is not using any air from your lungs. This one is pulling air in from the outside of your mouth just into the open space in your mouth. So try and fill up as much air as you can into your mouth and see how that works. See how much air that you can pull in without pulling it into your lungs. So that is about as much air as you're going to be able to pull in. So then once you have that air in, you just push it out in the same kind of technique as the, but and I find it helps when I'm doing that sound. My tongue actually, so here's the opening of my mouth, right here. My tongue is going from the back to the front. So it's going back to the front when I'm going, so I'm going. And that kind of stops the bass from going, but it also helps push the air out. So that's the bass sound. Alright, so the next sound that you're going to need to know is the clicking sound. Some of you may get this right away, and some of you may not. But basically how the sound goes is you're going to put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and you're going to want to try and build up pressure to slam it down into the bottom of your mouth. So what you're going to do, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and try and click it down as fast as you can. You'll feel pressure in your tongue, and then it'll release. There's too much pressure, and it'll hit the bottom of your mouth. So it'll go. And just keep your mouth open about that much. It doesn't need to be open that much, but you can keep it closed or open it a lot. You'll get bigger sounds, and the harder that you click it, the louder the sound is going to be. So the next sound is kind of the snare sound, and it's actually very similar to the previous sound with the clicking of the tongue, but we're not having our teeth open in this sound. The sound sounds like this. See how my mouth is, or my teeth are closed, they're not open? So it's basically the same as clicking your tongue in the previous sound, but since there's not enough space with your your teeth closed, it's going to make that sound. So basically you're doing the same thing, and you're going to feel that sound come from the sides of your tongue. And it's not going to be in the middle, more rounded like the last sound, but you'll feel it right here on the sides. But it's basically the same clicking sound as before, just with your teeth closed. And make sure your face is like that when you do it, because you'll get the sound coming out right here on the side. So the next sound in this beat is kind of a transition sound. You may not need to use it, but I use it to transition back. I'll show you what I'm saying. So there's the sound, the, and then there's a sound that I'm using that's, it's that sound. It's basically me putting my teeth right on my bottom lip right here and pulling air through and then letting it go. So I'm pulling it through with my teeth on my lip and then letting a little space come through. So that is kind of a transition sound that I use in the beat, and you're gonna have to get that down to get it. Alright, so now I'm going to teach you the beat. The beat goes like this. Alright, so the first part of the beat is a bass sound, 2 clicks, a bass sound, and the snare sound. So it's going to go. Okay, so that's the first part of the beat. Then the next sound are 2 transition noises, the sound. So what we have so far is, so then at the end we're going to go. Now, the last sound is just another bass sound, because then that will help us transition into looping that beat. So the whole thing together is. Alright guys, that's it for this technique. Thank you so much for watching. And for those of you wondering, yeah, I got bit by a dog on my nose, so that's what the Band-Aid is for. But thank you so much for sticking around and watching my videos. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys come back next week. You guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time.